In this video, we're talking again about los verbos reflexivos. Okay, so remember, reflexive verbs are verbs where the action is reflected back onto the person doing the action. Some examples. Yo me ducho. I shower myself. Nos despertamos a las 7 de la mañana. We wake ourselves up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So we know how to conjugate them when they're the only verb in the sentence. Let's review though, in case you passed out in the last two videos. We'll try it out with bañarse. This means to take a bath or to bathe oneself. Okay, so first off, ignore the se. Change bañar, just like any other AR verb. Yo baño, tú bañas, él, ella, usted baña. Nosotros bañamos, ellos, ellas, ustedes bañan. Okay, now we're going to remember the se, and we're going to put that in front of the verb and change it to the following forms. Yo me baño, tú te bañas, él se baña, nosotros nos bañamos, ellos se bañan. Hopefully that's pretty easy, as long as you remember that with each form, you have to keep the corresponding reflexive pronoun. So the yo form will always have me. The tu form will always have te. The él, ella, usted form will always have se. Nosotros and nosotras will always have nos. Ellos, ellas, and ustedes will always have se. But what happens when I want to have more than one verb in a sentence? For example, let's say that I have to take a bath. Well, if you remember that to have to is tener que, I have to, yo tengo que. But remember, when we change a verb and have another one right after it, we don't change the second verb. Much like I wouldn't say, I have to, I take a bath. I wouldn't say in Spanish, yo tengo que, yo me baño. Instead, I would say, I have to take a bath. So like I said, I have to, yo tengo que. To take a bath, bañarse. So we combine them. Yo tengo que bañarse. There's only one problem with this. Going along with what you've been learning about the reflexives, just pause the video and see if you can figure out what the problem with this sentence is. Okay, if you guessed it, something's wrong with bañarse. You're right. It is. Because I'm speaking in the yo form, I'll have to change the se to the reflexive pronoun that goes with yo. Me. So it becomes yo tengo que bañarme. I have to bathe myself. There's also option 2. The reflexive pronoun goes before the verb when I just say I take a bath. Yo me baño. So we can actually leave it in front of the whole verb phrase when we have more than one verb. Okay, so our verb phrase is tengo que bañar. Okay, tengo que bañar. So for the first option we have yo tengo que bañarme. But I could also put the me in front of the whole verb phrase, which would be yo me tengo que bañar. These mean exactly the same thing, and I can't tell you one is necessarily more common than the other. Just know that they both happen. Okay? So the first one would be translated to, I have to bathe myself. The second one, I myself have to bathe. Okay? But they mean exactly the same thing. Remember though, you have to have more than one verb to do the attaching at the end. If I say I take a bath, I only have one verb. So I cannot say, and please don't do this, I cannot say yo baño me. No, it has to be yo me baño. Let's do a couple more. We are going to get up. We are going, or we go, is nosotros vamos. Make sure to have an a after that for ear, because you pretty much always need it with other verbs. Nosotros vamos a. Okay? To get up, levantarse. So we are going to get ourselves up. Nosotros vamos a levantarnos. Or, you put the nos in front, nosotros nos vamos a levantar. I want to go to sleep. I want is, remember the Taco Bell dog, yo quiero. Yo quiero. Okay? To go to sleep is dormirse. I want to go to sleep. Yo quiero dormirme. Or put the me in front, yo me quiero dormir. You need to brush your teeth. Woo! Okay? You need, tú necesitas, to brush the teeth, cepillarse los dientes. So we'll have to change se to te for you, or yourself. Tú necesitas cepillarte los dientes. Or, Tú te necesitas cepillar los dientes. Now, if you're talking about he or she or the formal you, or they, y'all, the say will stay say. Because that's the reflexive pronoun that goes with those forms. An example, Jaime is going to take a shower. Jaime se va a duchar. Or Jaime va a ducharse. Because the se means he or she, or the they and y'all. Let's review how to do the ing form of verbs, if it's occurring right now. The first part will be a form of estar to mean I am, you are, he is, she is, we are, they are, and you all are. Okay, so if you remember, yo estoy, I am, tú estás, you are, él está, he is, ella está, she is, usted está, you, sir, madam, are, nosotros estamos, we are, ellos están, they are, ellas están, they, the girls are, ustedes están, you all are. Then we have to add on the ing. To do the ing form of a verb, the basic rule is, for AR verbs, we take off the AR and add ando, A-N-D-O. For ER and IR verbs, we'll add iendo, or I-E-N-D-O. An example, for the AR, hablar, to talk, take off the AR, add ando, and we'll have hablando, which means talking. Okay? So I want to say, I am talking, estoy hablando. You are talking, estás hablando. He or she is talking, está hablando. We are talking, estamos hablando. They are talking, están hablando. For an ER verb, comer, to eat, take off the ER and add I-E-N-D-O, and we have comiendo, eating. Estoy comiendo, estás comiendo, está comiendo, estamos comiendo, están comiendo. Okay? For an IR, vivir, to live, take off the IR and add I-E-N-D-O. Then we have viviendo, living. Okay? So I'm talking again, estoy hablando. You are eating, tú estás comiendo. We are living, nosotros estamos viviendo. Now what happens when I want to say that I'm doing a reflexive action right now? Let's look at the list of the daily routine reflexives again. Some common reflexive verbs. Bañarse, levantarse, lavarse, cepillarse, and secarse. We'll remove the se first, and we'll change these into the INGs. So bañar becomes bañando. Levantar becomes levantando. Lavar becomes lavando. Cepillar, cepillando. Secar, secando. Now, the rule of ING right now is similar to the two-verb rule. I wash my face. Yo me lavo la cara. I am washing my face right now. Yo me estoy lavando la cara. The me can always go before the verbs. Okay? Now, you can always attach it to the ING. This part's kind of cool. Yo estoy lavándome la cara. But we need to add an accent mark on the A of ando or the E of yendo. So, estoy lavándome la cara. We do this to keep the emphasis on the right syllable. Otherwise it messes things up. Now for the stem changers that ended in AR and ER, they look normal in the ING. So despertarse and acostarse both end in AR, but they're stem changers. Despertarse is E to IE and acostarse is O to UE. But they don't change in a weird way for this. So despertarse, to say waking or awaking, despertando. Acostarse in the ING, acostando. Some examples. I am waking up right now. Yo me estoy despertando. Okay? Or, yo estoy despertándome. They are going to bed right now. Ellos se están acostando. Or, ellos están acostándose. Now, if they are an IR stem changer, they are a little bit more complicated. Vestirse is an E to I, and it stays E to I. So we'll have vistiendo. Dormirse is an O to U, E, but it becomes O to U for this. So it's durmiendo. Some examples. Yo me estoy durmiendo. I'm falling asleep right now. Or, yo estoy durmiéndome. Okay, it means the same thing. I'm falling asleep right now. Ella se está vistiendo. She's getting dressed right now. Ella está vistiéndose. Now remember, with this ING rule, it has to be happening right now, otherwise it won't make sense in Spanish. Okay? I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. Adios.